This is every single World War II army in Ultimate Epic Battle Simulator 2 lined up and ready to charge. They're going to be ascending the death steps, and on the other side of said death steps is every modern army in Ultimate Epic Battle Simulator 2, along with every modern vehicle against every World War II vehicle. This is going to be a bloody showdown, and whoever wins this first battle then invades the other army. If they win that battle, they win the video, but if they lose, the opposing army gets a chance to counter. So if you guys enjoy this video, please be sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and let's get into this thing. What's up, gamers? I'm here to tell you about Instant Gaming. Instant Gaming is an amazing place where you can get some fire deals on all sorts of video games. Seriously, it's like 60 to 95% off, as you can see here. These are all of the Star Wars titles they have. They literally have every Star Wars title. You can also get XCOM here, Men of War Assault Squad 2. All of the games I play on the channel you can buy here for extremely cheap prices. If you use my affiliate link in the description, it helps me out a ton. So thank you guys for listening to this sponsorship, and thank you to Instant Gaming for continuing to sponsor the channel. Alrighty then, let's go ahead and press start right here, and both sides should begin their invasion. Now for this first battle, there's 2.2 million World War II soldiers and 270,000 modern units, because the modern units have higher damage, more armor, and better accuracy, as they have modern equipment and weapons going for them. The front lines for the modern army are some of these Russian soldiers with light machine guns. As for the World War II army, their front line is made up of World War II American shotgun units. Now, this map is a new map from the map building update for Ultimate Epic Battle Simulator 2, and it was made by, I believe, the YouTuber Chaotic Pinky is his name, so huge shout out to him. Thank you so much for making this map for the community overall. It is pretty awesome that so many people are so sharing and giving on UEBS 2 and making it so everyone can enjoy this combat. Now, we are about to have both armies getting to the very top of these death steps at the same time. And I think he who controls the peak here will end up controlling the battlefield overall, because it's such a good position in order to fight the enemies. And there we go. We've got both sides firing away. Now, this is fairly close quarters combat, so I'm guessing the shotgun units might have a slight advantage over the Russian units here, but at the same time, Russian units should have more health and better damage output, and that does seem to be contributing, as we do have more dead World War II soldiers up here. Meanwhile, the Russian units are mainly just getting bloodied by the incoming U.S. Army shotgun fire here, baby. So the modern equipment currently is having a peak advantage on the battlefield. A few of these guys dying, though. Oh, we've got explosions going off. That was definitely from one of the modern nuclear missile systems right here. Yep, beautiful. We also have TOS-1 systems over this way. And did the Abrams not spawn in? Oh, here are the BTRs. We've got BTR-80s over this way. And there's supposed to be like 20 Abrams, but I don't see them. They might have glitched and not spawned in, which kind of sucks, but I guess it is what it is. I'll try and figure that out for the next battle. But we do have now the Russian forces pushing through to the enemy's peak over here, although they're getting blasted by just a metric ton of shotgun fire over here whenever a unit crests over. And look, another nuclear missile system shot going off right there and doing the big boom boom. Very nice. Now we've got more World War II American shotgun units coming in, and we've got some Sherman tanks coming in as well. Behind them should be eventually, yep, some Thompson units. Behind those Thompson units is going to be the Germans, the Russians, the, well, in this case, Soviets, although, you know, the Russians before and after World War II, the Japanese soldiers, and there should be some British heavy machine gunners around this way somewhere as well, and there should also be some Japanese Chiha tanks too, although I'm not seeing them right now, but there's just an absolute ton of World War II units on the battlefield, so they could really be anywhere out here. It's just tough to see. There's actually water emplacements over here, and it's starting to spill over from the displacing units over this way. There's some of the British SMG troopers with their Sten guns, and some of the German Kar 98K troopers right there. All right, let's go back to the peak. Now, since there are so many more World War II units, they're able to actually flank around the side steps over here, and they're coming after some of the ghillie suit snipers over here. Now, the ghillie suit snipers normally are extremely powerful. They have high damage and high range, but they're on the front line, so that's not helping. But they do have some flechetta BTRs over here that should be helping them out, staying somewhat alive on the battlefield. We have some of our North Vietnamese units over this way. Well, I guess in this case, it's just Vietnamese units. Although I think they're technically North Vietnamese in the game. But now it's just a united Vietnamese. Over here, we've got our UN peacekeeping soldiers. Now, Jamie D, one of the best mod creators in the game, is currently working on actual custom UN peacekeepers, which will be really exciting, because right now we're just using a plain blue soldier to represent the UN, but he's going to make them all decked out. He said he's going to be adding medics and different custom units and things like that for the peacekeepers. It should be really cool. Now, BTRs are dying over here. Ghillie suit snipers are dying over here as they're facing some of these British SMG soldiers as well as German Wehrmacht K98K soldiers. And in total, the modern units have almost 500,000 kills already. That is insane. And the enemy only has 46,000 kills. So a pretty big difference between the two sides right there. The modern units are clapping cheeks and taking names for real, having a pretty dominant performance over here. There are some African soldiers throughout here, South African, I believe. There's also more Russian soldiers over this way. There's the TOS-1 systems, very nice. There's some... Okay, more South African soldiers. There are U.S. Army units out here. I'm just not entirely sure where they're at. More custom assault units out this way. There's a lot of variety. I'm just not seeing the U.S. Army. Oh, there's some of the heavy juggernaut units. Those guys are sick. And maybe the U.S. Army units are over here. Nope, there's more like European units. I don't see the U.S. Army. They must be out here, unless they didn't spawn in like the other ones. Like the Abrams. Maybe the U.S. just isn't getting any spawn-ins, or potentially they already died. That's always possible, too. Right now, the nuclear missile systems are doing some good damage still. The TOS-1s, I haven't seen too much output fire from them, but hopefully they'll start firing as well, because they're going to need it. All of a sudden, the World War II units, as they start to encircle the World War II Army units, are getting more and more kills. They're up to 109,000 kills against the modern Army, and the modern Army only has 683,000 kills now against the World War II units. So, at the moment, things are starting to become a bit more even on the battlefield. Oh, there's a couple modern U.S. Army units over here. Very nice. Wait. No, those are just bloodied Euro units. Never mind. Bro, where are the U.S. Army? I don't know. I'll figure it out for the next battle. But at the very least, while the modern units are doing a great job here, it doesn't seem to be enough against the overpowering World War II units. You've got the Shermans back here just spamming fire out, probably getting oodles of kills for the World War II units. Brutality. I still don't see the Chihas. They might have just died, though. I don't know. Man, what is going on? Units are disappearing left and right. What the heck? All right. It is what it is. Still, the modern army getting good kills. They're up to 800,000 with 1.4 million World War II units remaining. And they themselves are about to have 200,000 losses with only 71,000 units remaining. So I think the modern army is going to take the L here, which means they will be defending in the next battle we do in this very same video. So stay tuned. But After that, we'll see if maybe the modern army is a little bit better when it comes to defense on this map than they are to offense, and we'll see if they can get a victory that way. Either way, why don't we go ahead and time-lapse the ending here. And there we go, boys. Still 1.3 million World War II units left alive. So they only lost actually about half of their total force. So, I mean, all things considered, they only had to kill 270,000 soldiers. So they lost 5 times as many soldiers as they killed, which is absolutely insane. But they still won. Now let's see how they do when they have to attack a defensive position, because they won, they now attack against defending modern units. Let's go. Alright boys, the World War II armies are gearing up for their assault. I did get the Chihas to spawn in this time, but I couldn't get the Abrams to. I don't know, maybe it's just a weird glitch, or maybe my mod's busted. I'll check it out after this video. But we do have the defenders now up top here, ready to roll. And we've got them all lined up with BTRs over here, and then the backup defenders back this way in their assault unit gear with shotguns, so they're a little bit more close range, if you will. Then further back behind them, we've got Vietnamese, UN soldiers, and more, as well as TOS systems and nuclear missile systems over this way. And then way back here, we've got our ghillie suit snipers, because they're the only ones with the range to actually hit all the way up here. So a bit of a tiered defense, and I'm hoping they'll be able to like shoot up and really stop the enemy from coming forward by kind of head glitching them. Let's see how this goes. Pressing start right now, let's get into this thing. I forgot to mention, we also have units on the flanks to kind of angle them away from the flanks to try and protect a little bit better. We'll see if that actually works. Either way, exact same number of units as last time's battle, but we're seeing if the modern units can withstand this time around with a defensive advantage going for them, which very well could. We could see some very nice battling here. Right now, the only thing firing is the BTRs. I'm hoping the TOS-1s and the nuclear missile systems in the back can do some arcing fire over the steps here and get kills that way. That would be pretty important to a victory, but we should be getting these guys firing as soon as the World War II shotgun units crest over this side here. Now, the World War II shotgun units are probably the perfect ones for this job, as they are close quarters and should do pretty well. What's interesting about this map is that these guys back here are going to be able to fire first, but these guys down here don't have an angle to fire at. So actually, the guys behind them will die first in the battle, and then the guys in front of them will die, which is kind of strange. We've already got 75,000 soldiers dead for the attackers, and only 111 modern units dead. I also think I keep on calling them modern US Army soldiers. I mean to just say modern Army soldiers, but I just recorded a modern US Army video a little bit earlier today, and so I keep on messing that up. So I do apologize if I am misspeaking here and there. That's my bad. We're already up to 176,000 kills for the defenders now, and 500 kills for the attackers. Look at this. They are getting slapped around like crazy here as they try and crest up these steps and just get absolutely slaughtered by incoming fire. That is pure and utter brutality. My goodness. They are starting to come around the flanks here, but they will be cut off by these soldiers over here before they can get all the way around, which is definitely going to be helpful so that these fellas here don't get completely flanked, although they are getting like slightly flanked in this area, taking actually some pretty serious losses from the attacking World War II shotgun units here. And now that these guys are becoming more and more damaged and starting to die from that damage, we're seeing that they are full-scale losing troops. 2,500 of these guys are dead, and 400,000 World War II units are dead at this point. So still, they're doing amazing on the battlefield, but all in all, it's going to be a closer one. it's also interesting that this middle section has this kind of cool little peak area here. I'm curious if this is going to be a pretty good defensive position, since these guys can't really get shot in the flanks. They can only get shot straight forward. But no enemies are really coming down that midsection, interestingly enough. We've also got Shermans cresting up to the top of the battlefield. This could be where the defenders start to really lose soldiers here, as these Sherman tanks could potentially knock them around pretty good and get some serious kills. And you can see actually certain spaces getting shot by Sherman fire and pushing around the units there, if not outright killing them. So this could be a turning point in the battle here. We'll just have to wait and see. Here we go. They're cresting up over the top now and getting shot up and killed pretty quickly. I mean, they have been taking damage pretty much the entire time they've been coming up this system of trenches, I guess you could call it. I believe this battle is called like an aqueduct battle or something like that, they called it, but kind of a weird aqueduct. I don't know. So I don't know. Trenches or hill trench fortress type beat, or I don't know what you'd call this type of battlefield. It's interesting to say the least. Either way, the guys up against this step here are starting to get killed outright. Look at that BTR just getting shot down to the trenches below. That's crazy. But these guys still under here are fully intact and fully alive. So they're going to be so hard to kill later on. Right now, the TOS systems and the nuclear missile systems don't really seem to be firing at all either, so maybe once these guys crest over the top of the total fortress here, they'll actually start to be able to kill those guys. Also, we should be seeing the death of the shotgun units and probably the assault units. Yes, here are some of those Thompson assault units coming up to the top. They might have a better chance of getting more kills now. A little bit higher power rifling going on, but also once the Kar-98K and the Japanese Arasaka units and the Soviet Mosin Nagant units end up coming to the top of the battlefield, they might be able to get more kills as well, because they just have higher damage output. And I don't think these guys are really close range enough to utilize their SMGs and shotguns to their fullest potential. We're already at 888,000 kills for the modern defenders here, and 32,000 kills for the attackers. So the attackers are making a little bit more of a come up, but the defenders are definitely still winning this thing outright at the moment. Why don't we go ahead and time-lapse this area here for a little bit. Okay, just a few minutes later, and we are at 1.3 million dead World War II units, which is insane. We're still looking at assault troopers coming up the top front here. So their riflemen haven't really made it yet, but they're very close. I'm seeing some Japanese soldiers over here, and lots more back here. Lots of Japanese about to come up. My goodness. And 117,000 dead modern units. So the modern army only has 149,000 troopers left. The World War II army has 920,000 remaining troopers. Pretty insane stuff. The flanks over here are getting attacked pretty good. Who's doing the attacking? It's the German Kar-98K units over this way. And look at this. They're coming around the very, very far flank over here to attack these guys. My goodness. Oh, do we have TOS system firing? No, not yet. Oh, yes, a little bit over this way. Nice. Okay, so we got TOSs finally starting to get involved in the battlefield over here a little bit more. We've got our UN soldiers trying to defend them as enemies come up over the top over here pretty wholeheartedly and start attacking. And these guys all got wiped out, the Vietnamese soldiers. My goodness. Okay, over here there's still more of them, though, so that's good to see at the very least. The center is still holding with the BTRs, but I do fear for it as these flanks begin to close in and more troopers are getting into the flank area over here. These will be nice little holdout sections because the enemies will try and kind of run past them since they won't notice them as well, and before they notice them, it might just be a little bit too late. as it were. But right now, these guys are still getting shot a decent bit, and probably getting a decent amount of kills at the very least, but will it be enough? Only time will tell. The modern army is definitely doing much, much better this time than last time around, having that defender's advantage, even with the exact same troop count and troop types on the battlefield. They're still doing so much better. Look at this. These UN soldiers are the only ones left alive in this little corner. These ones over here, they had the angle on them. Look at that. They were able to shoot down, but these guys are too tightly packed right there to get shot at the moment. We have 120,000 remaining modern army units, and we currently have 797,000 remaining World War II units. Why don't we do a nice overhead here so we can watch the TOS systems and nuclear systems get some fire out, because these things could be very, very helpful in these flanks. Okay, so the TOS systems are dying out. They're dying out, but there's still plenty more back here. Same with the nuclear systems. I think a couple of these might be dead because I don't see them moving, but the rest are still alive. We've got Japanese soldiers pushing up really pretty far over here, as well as everything over here is pushing up very, very far. We still have defenders, though, in these gullies here. So this really is working for them, because these guys are just getting shot down from beneath, from the guys above, and then we still do also have like BTRs and stuff like that over here firing away and managing to get a decent number of kills. Now, I don't think the attackers have any vehicles left. Oh no, they do have a couple Shermans out here, a couple Shammies. Maybe they'll be able to do a little something, but not that much. The defenders definitely have more vehicles with their TOSs, but it's kind of coming down to like this narrow path here. Oh, are the ghillie suit snipers getting kills? Oh yeah, they are firing away. Nice, so maybe they'll be able to do some serious backup and support. TOS is still firing away over this way, but yeah, they're kind of getting squeezed right now. That's the main thing that's happening, is that the enemy units are squeezing in from all sides, except for the backside, and destroying the units that way through the flanks, which is definitely a bit of a problem. I think if this front line breaks, it could be really, really bad for the defenders. But right now, it is actually looking somewhat optimistic number-wise, because 58,900 remaining defenders and only 437 remaining attackers, which is pretty darn good for this. So why don't we watch these guys defending down here? Could be interesting. Oh yeah, these guys got wiped out actually a lot quicker than I would have thought, and now the enemy World War II units are tearing through the armies of the modern troops, just all over the place. This is bad. We got stem gun British soldiers up here firing away. Hoi vey! These guys are gonna get flanked in the back, up top, and over this way too. So they're probably cooked in their little holdout position here. It's not looking too nice. It's like a World War II victory might be actually in order here. These guys with the shotguns aren't even really able to shoot. Everyone's too far away. These guys just coming up over the top right now. TOS systems and nuclear missile systems trying to fire away. They've still got some defenders, mainly over here with the UN soldiers. But beyond that, they'll get surrounded fairly soon here, which is not very nice. Let's watch the overhead here. 350,000 attackers remaining. 39,000 defenders. It's coming down to the wire here. This is getting like a tight race. Okay, so We've got a defense holding up here from the UN soldiers still as more World War II soldiers now get closer and closer. And this is pretty much the only defense beyond the ghillie suit snipers all the way back here, who are actually dying a little bit just from stray bullets, I think, hitting them all the way back here. And the TOS ones are still firing a little bit. I haven't really seen a nuclear system shot in a while, so I think those are dead. It's kind of hard to tell what vehicles are dead and what aren't on these battlefields, but I think the TOSs are still, yeah, there's one going off right there. But these guys might die out pretty soon. 170,000 World War II units still attacking, 22,000 modern units still defending. And that's it for the TOS systems. It is now completely up to the ghillie suit snipers over here to win this battle. They're getting full charged by 66,000 World War II units coming down these steps. This is really the ultimate culmination of this battle. 19,000 ghillie suit snipers remain, and 59,000 World War II units. They're all coming from this angle, though. Very little over there, so that means that this side can be killed, while the right side could potentially hold for a little bit longer and get some extra bonus shots off and things like that. I think the ghillie suits could do this, but also the World War II units could do this. This might be one of the closest battles we have ever seen in Ultimate Epic Battle Simulator 2. I mean, this is wicked close, man. Absolutely insane. 18,000 ghillie suits, now 41,000, now 40,000 World War II units. All right, I think the World War II units are dying out now. I don't think they're going to do this, actually. And I think it's because the ghillie suits now have just a nice broad angle to shoot these guys. Very easy shots because they're just up on top of this hill. They can just take little pot shots at them and get quick, easy kills. 17,000 ghillie suit snipers remaining, 30,000 World War II units. Why don't we time-lapse the end here, because I think the ghillies are going to win it for the modern army. And there we go. Modern army scraping by the skin of their teeth right there. There's apparently 12 World War II units left alive somewhere, but I think they're probably glitched. And 15,000 remaining modern army units, all ghillie suit snipers, saving the day for the modern army. If you guys did enjoy this video, please be sure to hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and comment down below if you'd like to see some more UEBS 2 in the future. I'll see you all in the next one. Peace! I hope you guys enjoyed that video. Be sure to click that subscribe button for more content, and hit the notification bell if you'd like to be alerted to whenever I live stream or upload. Thanks so much.